I know we're a long way from home, but the Bulldogs do look the goods at the present time. Wilson comes back on. He come off with a blood roll. He's making tracks towards the fence. Bounce down, and it's a great one at that. Up they go again as Donnybrook tried to take it. Comes out towards Davies. He can't take it. In goes Omadai. In goes Glass, and the umpire says it's my ball. They're sucking in the air. It's been a warm day at Hands Oval. Bounce down they go again. Over towards Remus, gets a great thump, 20 metres towards his attack. Hebbert takes the ball and drops it out of his hands, taken by Gibbs. Gibbs gets a kick towards Tringle. Great lead, great mark, and great kick. Believenow goes over the mark. Tringle gets a quick kick on towards Davies. Davies doesn't want it because Olsen's steaming out of the back pocket. Takes the mark on his chest, and I thought Davies, I know he would have got cleaned up, but he should have made a bit more of that. Out towards Hoff. Hoff takes it on his chest. He goes short towards Elson. He drops where the interference comes from Davies. There they go, and the high tackle. Donnybrook free kick. Leave it at that, boys.
Can't do that, son.
And the timekeeper's right once again. Looks like Robbie Cross with the ball. Only came on a short while ago. He's been known to pinch a goal or two in the forward line. He's a danger around there. Let's hope for the game's sake and the Dons that he can get a couple before half time. One at least. He goes into the pocket. That's where the lead was. It's gone over Bub's head. Kane's worn him like a glove and he tracks it across the boundary line. Wasn't a very solid lead from Bub on that occasion, but he needs to fight his way back. He's an experienced player. He played a brutal game last year in the grand final, kicked about 7. Ball comes down to the ground, in goes the Dons. He's sat upon by the Bulldogs. Bell underneath and the umpire will take another bounce. The Dons need to keep this ball in the forward line. They desperately need a goal out of this sort of late into the quarter. Bounce down, up they go. Irving gets a line ball decision. Knocked back the second time out towards Howard. Howard's running, he's looking for somebody in attack. It comes over towards Sheffers. He calls Trimble out of it, takes one step forward. The umpire and then decides, no, I'll go back. And wise thinking by the experienced player, the ex-coach of the Dons. Started the assault of premierships when he first went out to the Donnybrook side. Now this guy, I don't want to put the mocker on him, but he is probably the most reliable kick in the Don side and in the competition. Kicked 6 last week.
Beautiful.
Great kick from Sheffers, experienced and steady in goal. And boy did the game of the Dons need that. 3-3-21 the Dons, 8-5-53 the Bulldogs. 3 grand finals the Dons have won, and don't be surprised if he gets 1 or 2 or 3. Up they go. Great leap by Remus. Doesn't go to any in particular. Out comes on the right track from behind. Gets through one tackle, gets through the second, takes a bounce. He's a man on a mission. He looks around, takes a second. He's looking forward towards it. It's a terrible old kick. Then comes Neil. He's tackled from behind. Couldn't do much about that. Out comes Evel, get a little hand pass over to O'Keefe. The experienced O'Keefe onto his left, out wide they go towards Treasury and Kirkpatrick. The bounce goes to Kirkpatrick's way. He's now in the box seat. He's got 2 against 1 and he knocks it over the line and out of bounds. The only course of action he could have taken being outnumbered. Terrible kick in the forward line after making the break from the centre. They needed one to be put on to the advantage of the Dons. Chiswell Remus, Chiswell again, comes over towards Smith, he's not quite there, in comes Kane, grabs it, boots it, here comes Sills, can't make it, Martindale goes one way, comes back the other, gets a hand pass and scarf out by Sills. Sills has got to follow the ball, he's got the body behind it, he sockers it forward towards Nani, he goes to the ground and he's put from behind as Proctor comes right over the top of his back. No question about that. His endeavours to get at the ball meant that he went right in the middle of Nani's back when he was on the ground. And Nani will line up for what I think will be his 3rd if he gets it. Five minutes to go in the second quarter as Shane Nani lines up for the Bulldogs. For 1 or 2 steps. Not a problem with that one, says the goal umpire. The Bulldogs are looking good. 9 goals, 5-59. The Dons are 3-3-21 with 5 minutes to go. The Donnybrook cheer squad's getting some noise. Can it lift the Dons just before half time? Chiswell Ward gets a knock this time over towards Shepherds. It's a bit awkward bouncing ball. In comes Milner, picked up by 10, onto his boot with a mongrel punt up to the forward line. Fidel nearly steals it, drops over the back towards Shane Narney. He snaps, it's a poor snap, but it's going to go through for a minor score. 9-6-60 the Bulldogs, 3-3-21 the Dons. With Wilson to bring the ball back into play. Studded kick out towards Kendall. Kendall, good thinking from behind, knocks over towards Chiswell. He lets it go to Proctor. Proctor spins into trouble and drops the ball. In comes Gibbs. He sockets it to the boundary line as he is under heaps of pressure from the Bulldog forward line, who have kept the ball in very well and tackled very hard to this point in time. Chiswell Ward reaches over, comes down to the bottom of the pack and someone's putting their boots in where it wasn't warranted, and Chiswell will take the resultant free kick. Right in front of the Craig Chiswell stand. He goes out wide to the wing. Gibbs is in underneath this and he stands his ground and which should get paid to mark. Been a very good player over the final series and he'll probably be close to the best again, I would suggest, in my book anyway. In the top couple. Very stagnant in front of him, not much more. He's going to have to just kick long and hope. Nobody's moving. Up they go. Dons take the mark through Sheehan. No cross. Cross onto his left foot over towards Davies. Davies takes the mark. I thought he was off. He should have given it to Smith. He comes inboard to Treadwell. Treadwell's going to go to centre forward to Shepherds.
Yes.
Shepherds 1 step, 2 steps. Lines up the goals and I think he's missed this one. 3-4-22 the Dons. 9-6-60 and Shepherds doesn't miss many of them. He got them last week and they desperately need them this week. Markle will bring the ball in. Only a few minutes to go. It's a little chip kick in towards Hoff. Hoff will go out wide. No, he won't too ever. Thought he was going to wheel onto his right foot. He goes long towards Hebbert and Gibbs. Hebbert's too strong in this one-on-one duel. No, he's been paid for pushing Gibbs from behind and Gibbs will take the free kick. I don't think there's a lot in that, but the umpire's a lot closer than me. We'll run with him because Donnybrook got the footy. Gibbs goes to centre half forward. Will Irving make it? Glass is in the way. He's too small. Irving reaches over the top. Takes a step onto his left foot. He gets it over towards Treadwell. Treadwell marks. Breaks one tackle. Runs towards the goals. Looks at the goal umpire and he drills it straight through the middle for the Dons. 4-4-28 the Dons. 9-6-60 and they're not done yet.
Yeah, big call on Glassy there with Irving bearing down on him.
He stood his ground, was very good.
Courage, mate.
Irving kept his feet. He was able to gather the ball once it hit ground level and send the Dons on their way. Bounce down in the middle. Ward gets a knock, goes to Gibbs. Gibbs gets a hand pass out and misses Omadai as he goes through. Gibbs follows up his ball. Great play by the midfielder. He gets it down towards Howard. Bad ball, bad bounce, but also comes back and in his favour. Evil's on his tack. Gets it out. Evil's bumped from the side. In goes Omadai. Great play by Omadai. Finally gets it out, but all too late as the ball is taken by the umpire and Evil questions the decision of the bounce down with 2 minutes remaining. Irving to take the knock. Ward's his opponent. They stand man on man. Nobody gets it. Headed knocks it to Ward. Rebounds from the bounce down. His kicks goes nowhere. He knocks it forward towards Cross. He's taken high. He'll get a free kick. He goes on his left. He plays on to Howard. He wasn't aware of it. He's got the hand pass over to Omadai. He runs to the 50. He's gone towards the lead of Neil and he's taken. No, he's not. He's dropped the chest mark as he went to ground. It hit his hands in his knees and the ball trickles over the line for a boundary throw. It would have been a very difficult spot to kick a goal for.
Yeah, it's not fair. The last 3 minutes, Gibbs has been the difference.
Irving goes up, tries to knock it to the hot spot. Doesn't it? Comes down to the packed situation. We'll have a bounce down very quickly by the field umpire, Sheffner. Another one here to the Dons will be very handy for this game. Down goes Kendall. He takes his man with him. He's full of beans. He's waiting for the bounce. Up they go. It's going to be the two little blokes who take it. Howlett and Bennell. Bennell gets a second chance through the bounce of the ball. Comes over to push Milner. Goes to Bound. Gets a good hand pass to Ward. He just belts it on his right foot and goes out wide. The foot race between Treasure and Kirkpatrick. Treasure's got the bounce of the ball. He can't take it cleanly. Kirkpatrick runs into the back of his... And there it is, folks, at half-time, the Bulldogs lead 9 goals, 660. The Dons are 4-4, 28. They came back in that quarter in the dying stages. Another goal or two would have been very, very handy for the Dons. But just over 5 goals and goal scorers for the Bulldogs. We see Shane Narney, the goal sneak with 3. Jason Treasure's got 2, as has John Bennell. Kim Eads has got 1, and Nathan Hebbard. And for the Dons, Sheffers, Trigwell, Omadai and Martindale 1 apiece. Shane, what do you think of the first half? Dying stages, Donnybrook still in amongst the chop up there. The never say die attitude, one of the traits over the last 4 years of grand finals.
Yeah, the last 3-4 minutes they definitely stepped up a couple of cogs, but majority of that quarter Bunbury dominated. Probably could have been a couple more goals ahead actually. But they just seem to be, with their forward line structure, seems to be a lot better. When they do go forward, the confidence and their skill, the ball handling by the Bunbury players is a lot more profound than what it is of the Donnybrook players. They seem to be second to 2 or 3 grabs at the ball. Maybe the last few weeks they've had a pretty heavy campaign coming into the grand final, and Bunbury have had a pretty good dream run, really, pretty fit. These boys have played some pretty good footy over the last few weeks. They'll be feeling a bit of a drain, I think.
Yeah, you take into account the first semi-final over at Kelly Park, and they've played an extra 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Doesn't sound a lot, 10 minutes, but boy, gee, you add it to the finals campaign and in a warm day, and it does take a bit out of it.
Oh yeah, and some of their games have been pretty tough against South and Kerry Park. They were pretty bruising affairs. So, you know, play game week in, week out, that type of footy. They are a good side. They'll definitely come back. There's bounce back. There's no risk. No one's writing them off. But Bunbury definitely seem to be a bit quicker out there and a bit sure with the ball.
Yeah, one grab player most of the times they go forward, but as we said earlier, football's a funny game. And Daryl, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, Ray, I think that Bunbury's pace was a little bit too much there for Donnybrook in that quarter. They tend to manage to be first to the ball when it was loose. They were winning the ball in the centre of the Donnybrook side through Dean Irving getting a lot of the taps, but they weren't seeming able to get the ball away. One player that came very much into prominence that quarter, had a good first quarter too, was Jason Treasure, but he moved to a half-forward flank in that one and really burnt. So Jason Treasure's, I think, has been a key player. Brett Glass continued to play well. Scott Hoff managed to get, I think, on top in that quarter and also got the ball out into the forward line pretty regularly. Shane Narney proved a danger. He's managed to cover 3 goals for the quarter. Probably a bit lucky to get one of them when a free kick could have gone the other way, but he still managed to be a real thorn in the Donnybrook side. The Dons are really struggling in that quarter. They didn't have too many players that really going well at all. Carl Trigwell's been probably their best. A goal just before half-time, and he marked and played on under pressure and managed to drive it through, so he's kept them in with a chance. Brendan Gibbs has continued to play reasonably well. Dean Irving's got a lot of the ball in the tap-out. Mick Omaday still going well, but basically a lot of the Dons were down in form in that quarter. Darian Cheffers had a few chances, but it's just not on for Darian today by the look of it. He's kicked one out of bounds in the full at a point that he normally would have kicked, but if he can become a bit more efficient in the second half and the Dons can rally, I think at half-time there as they came off, they were geeing each other up a bit.